Hello everyone, my name is Prajakta Take and I'm from Department of Zoology, KTHM College, Nashik. Today I'll be taking a class for MSc Part 2, Semester 3. The subject is soft skills and this is the second chapter which is named as Unit 2. Topics we are going to deal with is the stains and this is the sixth lecture of this particular top chapter. So, we will be talking about the nuclear stains today. The nucleus of a eukaryotic cell contains two nucleic acids, DNA in the chromosomes and RNA in the nucleolus. Both are associated with strongly basic nucleoproteins. These are histones in the diploid cells or protamines in the haploid cells such as spermatozoa. Nucleoproteins are rich in the amino acids arginine and lysine. Okay, the cations of these amino acids are neutralized by phosphoric acid residues of nucleic acids. The DNA and nucleoprotein of these chromosomes together constitute the material known as chromatin, named for its prominence in most stained preparations. In interphase cells, the chromosomes are extended and cannot be seen individually. The chromatin seen in stained preparations of interphase nuclei may be evenly distributed through the nucleoplasm or may be present in the aggregated pattern characteristic of a cell type. The dye used as nuclear stain impart color to the chromatin by binding to the nucleic acids or the nucleoproteins or both these substances. Now let's move on to these cationic dyes which come under this particular uh, topic. The mode of binding of cationic dyes to substrates um, so basically they are applied from acidic solutions in order to ensure the ionization of their primary, secondary or tertiary amine groups. Three types of anions capable of binding cationic dye occurs in the tissue. There are phosphates of nucleic acids, sulfate esters of certain macromolecules, carbohydrates, and carboxylate ions of carbohydrates and proteins. The ionization of carboxyl group is suppressed in the concentration of hydrogen ions in the staining solution is too high, while sulfate groups remain ionized even in strongly acidic media. Phosphoric acid is an intermediate strength. A basic protein such as hemoglobin contains excess of free amino over carboxyl group so that later can be made available for binding cationic dyes only from alkaline solution. The staining property of the cationic dyes are profoundly influenced by the pH of their solution. If they are too acidic, only structures rich in sulfated carbohydrates will be colored. If they are neutral or alkaline, everything will be stained. So basically the interpretation of the results obtained with cationic dyes at various pH levels has been studied in some depth. It is convenient to think of staining by cationic dyes as a process of ion exchange in which small cations such as hydrogen atom are competitively displaced from the tissues by larger cations of the dye. When the tissue and the dye solution are together for a long time, there is an equilibrium. Binding of a dye by non-ionic forces favors staining, whereas high concentration of, say, hydrogen or sodium in the solution opposes staining. This simple explanation applies only to dilute solutions of dyes with small molecules. In most real staining techniques, non-ionic forces cause aggregation of dye so that more than one colored molecule is bound at each anionic site in the tissue. Now, see, at pH 1, only sulfated carbohydrate components are stained. Sulfonic acid groups or sulfuric acid esters can be artificially produced in the tissues, and these too will bind cationic dyes from strongly acidic solution. At pH 2.5 to 3, staining of say phosphate of nucleic acids and of phospholipids is seen. At pH 4 to 5, staining of the, say, carbohydrates, then say nucleic acids, phospholipids, and also carboxylic groups of carbohydrates and more acid proteins will be seen. Carboxyl groups of free fatty acids may be stained in the frozen sections. See, at pH higher than 5, staining of all the above before mentioned things with increasing staining of neutral and basic proteins is seen with increase in the pH. With the higher concentration of the dye, the rule sets out uh, whatever pH rule sets out are not followed, and staining is generally less specific. The duration of exposure of the dye has only minor effects on the results, though longer time are needed to achieve the greater possible depth of staining. If very dilute solution are used, the end result is also affected by treatments after staining. Most cationic dyes are rather readily extracted from sections by 70% alcohol, absolute ethanol, N-butanol, and acetone are usually less active in respect. In any critical work with cationic dyes, the condition of rinsing and dehydration must be carefully standardized. The water used for rinsing the sections after staining should be buffered to the same pH as that of the dye. Clear? Fixatives generally do not directly affect sulfate, phosphate, or carboxylate groups, but combination with or removal of amine group has the effect of lowering the pH at which proteins are stained. Thus, fixation by osmium tetroxide, which causes oxidative deamination, renders almost all the components of the tissue stainable by cationic dyes at pH 4 or higher. See, for general purpose staining of nuclei, cationic dyes are used in dilute solution, which is 0.1 to 0.5% at pH 3 to 4.5. The aqueous solution of the dye is usually acidified by addition of acetic acid or any suitable buffer. Objects that are colored by cationic dyes are said to be basophilic. When nuclei are stained by cationic dyes, basophilia will also be evident at sites of accumulation of cytoplasmic RNA, such as the nasal substance of the neuron, and in the structures containing sulfated carbohydrates such as mast cell granules, cartilage, matrix, and many secretory products. In this, cationic dyes differ importantly from some of the metal complexing dyes used for nuclear stains. Okay, now we'll move on to some of the cationic dyes. The first one is toluidine blue. So, a 0.5% aqueous solution acidified by adding approximately 1 ml of glacial acetic acid to 100 ml of dye solution. Alternatively, make a 0.1 millimole 1 molar sorry 0.1 molar acetate buffer at pH 4. The optimum pH may vary between 3 to 5.5 according to the fixative and the tissue to be stained. Stain in this solution for now, when we use toluidine blue, nuclei and acid carbohydrate components are stained blue. Some carbohydrates containing structures are metachromatically stained. They are generally stained red. Okay, cytoplasmic RNA, example is nasal bodies of the neuron, is also stained blue. Other thiazine dyes may be substituted for toluidine blue, which is say Borel's methylene blue or Acer A. Now let's move on to another one, which is neutral red. Now, when we talk about neutral red, nuclei and other basophilic structures are stained red. So neutral red can also be used as a fluorochrome. Stained paraffin sections for 5 minutes in point say not 2% aqueous neutral red, then dehydrate, clear and cover in the usual way. With the excitation near UV or blue light, nuclei and cytoplasmic RNA emit yellow-orange fluorescence. Okay. Now let's talk about ethyl green and methylene green. So these unrelated dyes are useful counter stains when objects of greater interest than nuclei have been colored red, purple or brown. Ethyl green is still sold as methyl green, a dye that has been obsolete for more than 30 years. For staining with ethyl green, immerse slides for 15 minutes in 0.2% solution of this dye at pH 4 to 4.5. And see, acetate buffer is going to be a suitable solvent. Rinse the slides quickly, blot the slides, hydrate in acetone or in N-butanol, then clear in xylene, cover with a resinous mounting medium. So the result is nuclei and basophilic structures are stained bluish green. This we were talking about ethyl green. Now let's talk about methylene green. The methylene green counter is used as a counter stain for nuclei. Is 0.05% solution of the dye in 2.4% aqueous boric acid. After 5 minutes in this solution, the slides are washed for say 2 minutes, and then followed by 3 changes or say changes in ethanol, then they are cleared and application of resinous, then they are say, what do you say, uh, mounted in resinous material. Next one is the next one is polychrome methylene blue. The staining solution is a mixture of thiazine dyes produced by oxidation and demethylation of methylene blue. The polychroming may be accomplished in various ways. So, what would you see after this is that all the components of the tissues are stained in various shades of blue. Strong acid carbohydrates stain metachromatically red, especially if some differentiation is allowed to occur in the water wash with deliberate overstaining. The objects that are normally metachromatic will be dark blue or purple. This was all from my side about some of the cationic dyes, and thank you so much.